I was writing a bass line. At the time it was, untitled. It was just a random bass line I was messing about with. I wanted to push myself to use the 5-string more, because I just got one. So I thought, well, I need to kind of use it. So I was writing a line, which then became Asphyxia. And then in doing so, I was trying to create an intro section for Asphyxia. And it turned out that it fit well to go into the song, but it was pointed out to me by Zephyos that it would make more sense as an intro to the whole album, because it wasn't grander than Asphyxia the song, but it was more impactful, kind of mellow, and then it builds you right up, and then it obviously in the album it jumps you straight into Senescent intro track for the album instead of just a song. But it was supposed to just be a part of Asphyxia, but it turned out to be a whole thing on its own. The fact that it starts off and it's not all the instruments, it's just a couple, and it's easing you in, so you're hearing it and you're like, oh, something's happening here. And even though there's only a couple playing at the beginning, even then they're still going up and becoming more and more and fuller. And then eventually it comes to a head. Every instrument's playing, and even in the intro itself, once everyone's playing, there's that break, and then it jumps right back in again, just to re-emphasize that this is it's about to go down. And it's yeah. I think it's a really good thing that we can take almost anything, any instrument, and make it the melodic focal point that the lyrics can be based off of, because it gives you more freedom, because each instrument's played differently, so the dynamics and the sounds are going to be different, and thus the lyrics can then be sung or written in that way. Whereas a bass melody would be more drawn out and long, whereas a guitar, I imagine, would be more pretty and soulful, I guess. Whereas if we managed to, we could make a melody off of drums somehow, but if we did, it would be more bigger. You would assume the lyrics and the style it would be sung would be more impactful, like a drum. So it gives the freedom for changing how the lyrics are written and sung. A lot of the time when I'm writing stuff, unless it's something that I'm just started on myself, if I'm just writing a bass line, I've got no drums, nothing, it's just out my head, then there's maybe some thoughts there, but in terms of this song, it was already pretty structured. There was just certain parts that I needed to look at and try and fit something into, and when it comes to that, it's very much of in the moment. I'll literally listen to the section before, after, and the section that I'm working on, just listen to that on repeat and just noodle around and try and find something that not only sounds good but fits, either taking parts of the lead guitar to go with the melody, or taking parts of the rhythm just obviously to make sure that the core is all good, but as well as making sure to keep attention to the drums, because obviously the drums and I would be the backbone, so we really need to meld. But I like having parts that I meld with the guitars, because we're a band. It's not just bass, drums, and then guitars. There needs to be some connection between them all. I tried my hand at adding drums to expand upon, so that when we are writing things, if there is something to be added to drums, I might be able to notice it, because it's always better to have everyone at least somewhat knowledgeable about every part so that they can have input. And then that's when I passed it on to Zephyos, so that he could have a look and see what he could do with it in terms of adding guitars or any other instrument that he would think would fit well with the theme or the structure of the song. It was the first actual music video that wasn't a live music video or anything that I've done, where it's more formulaic rather than just a free form. So it was interesting to even just be a part of the creative process in that. I never really saw myself as one. I was very much in for the music, and I want to push myself more to be a part of like the music videos and such. Personally, I'm not the type of person that wants to be in front of the camera, but I'm part of the band, so kind of have to be. So I have to get over that. When we were coming up with the ideas, Zephios and Rakas had already come up with the general theme of the video, and we sat down and put across some ideas to reinforce the general theme, which was Rakas's character was spiraling in a loop. Spiraling in a loop, and was trying to and couldn't see that it was such. And we wanted to show that instead of just having the actual music video loop where each day is the same, each thing is the same, we wanted to make it so it's the same, but there's these little hidden Easter eggs where you can see that stuff is slowly getting worse. So it's as if he's coming to the tail end of the loop. He's now realizing that he has been in a loop, and he's seeing all the things that were happening that made him get to the point that he's in now. Like the holding the wrist at the end of the video. It escalated to that point. It's just little things like that the viewers can look out for, and just a little bit extra rather than just spitting out a music video. We wanted to make it a whole thing, put as much time and effort into that as we do the music as well. I think any other genre that we haven't touched will probably touch on. Definitely the type of band that we don't stick to a specific genre per se. It's more of a feel. Like, we want to have it so each song can be completely different, but you know it's us. That's all we're focusing on in terms of how a song sounds. We're not thinking like, oh, this whole album needs to be heavy metal, or this whole album needs to be more poppy. It's just how the album comes about. If more of the songs end up being poppy, then that's just how it's came across. But it's as long as we are focusing on making it sound like us, I think we can pretty much touch on any genre. I'd like to incorporate maybe reggae into a song, because there's a few bands like Ginger. They incorporate reggae into their heavy metal songs, and it works really well. So I'd be interesting to see if we can incorporate that into a style of song that works for us. Having all that we have, the production space, the photography space, the rehearsal space, all these things, it frees us up to do whatever we want to do. If we have some off-the-wall idea, like making a YouTube video about a certain topic, we have the tools and the space to do it, and everyone will be backed by their ideas, as long as they're not so off the wall that it doesn't make sense. But generally, any idea that anyone will come up with for a video, for music, for photography, literally for anything, anything that's brought forward will be looked at by everyone, and everyone can agree or disagree on if we can do it, but we have the ability to do it. So it frees us up to think more of different things to do, and we're not limited to just making music or just doing photography. We can all just do anything. I think for the longest time, I'll always love listening to music. I always have, even at work, I'll always have an earbud in listening to music. It sounds bizarre, but it's like I kind of need it to function. Like I need a soundtrack to my life. So I always have something playing. So I always enjoy listening to music a lot. I do enjoy creating music a lot. I think with all things that you enjoy, everyone gets to a point where they might forget how they feel towards something. So I may have had a part of that, possibly due to the COVID situation and how that messes with everyone. It kind of changed my thinking, but I'm now relearning to enjoy creating again. And I'd say when I'm creating and when I'm listening, it's to the same degree. I'm fully invested and love doing both equally when I'm fully in both.